咁我哋今日咧，我哋先同幾位嘅消防員同我哋傾咗偈先啦。咁我哋今日就有特區救援隊指揮官于文陽于 Sir， 另外咧就有高級消防隊長羅文傑羅 Sir， 另外就有高級消防隊長江家豪江 Sir， 你好。咁我哋咧頭先咁多位傳媒朋友都影咗今日嘅小明星啦，就係有 Twix 啦。咁佢一陣間咧就會再同大家影相嘅。咁我哋不如簡單同幾位阿 Sir 可能傾一傾今次喺呢個地震上面嘅搜救工作先啦。即係你哋一開頭去到其實成隊係幾多人啊？或者係去到嘅時候係有啲咩感受嘅？咁我哋簡單去傾一傾先，亦都問一問隻狗仔去到嗰陣時，今日係佢翻嚟香港嘅第一次現身啦。係咪第一次現身啊？佢唔肯定係啦。但係翻嚟香港之後就好可愛咁樣登場啦。咁我哋一陣間咧都可以問一問，究竟嘅狗仔喺嗰邊嘅時候其實係發揮住一個咩嘅功用啦？點樣做一個小先鋒咁樣去幫助啲災民啦？咁稍後嘅時間咧，我哋就會有3位嚟自土耳其同敍利亞喺我哋李寶椿聯合世界書院度就讀嘅學生。咁佢哋咧較早前咧就係發起咗一個嘅籌款行動啦，係主動去聯絡去大使館去送一啲物資俾啲當地嘅居民嘅。咁但係佢哋而家仲上緊堂，就10分鐘後就會加入㗎啦。咁我哋同3位傾咗偈先嚇。我俾支咪你哋，係咪要拎咪收音？係啦。好，咁不如問下幾位，你哋去到嗰陣時係成條 team 係大概幾多人？係有咩感受啊？一開頭有啲咩位係最擔心咁樣呢？
其實我哋收到土耳其政府要求我哋派遣特區救援隊過去幫手嘅時候呢，咁我哋係即刻聯絡我哋啲同事啦。咁我哋喺2月8號晚呢，咁其實我哋係一行59人，咁就其中有49位就係我哋消防處嘅同事啦。咁佢哋都有唔同嘅職系嘅，咁有啲就係消防員嚟㗎啦，咁有救護員啦，咁另外就係有我哋工程部嘅同事，咁另外跟住就有10位呢，就係保安局嘅官員啦。咁啊入境處嘅同事啦，同埋衛生署都派咗2名醫生同埋2名護士，咁佢哋主要都係去照顧我哋嘅健康嘅，係啊。咁另外就係我哋其實去到災區呢，咁我哋係飛到去，首先就飛咗去伊斯坦布機場，就再轉機去阿丹拿機場嗰度，咁跟住我哋就要坐大概2個半至3個鐘頭車，就去我哋被派遣嗰個哈塔爾省嘅一個災區嗰度做救援工作啦。其實當時喺最後嘅1個鐘頭車程嗰度呢，其實我哋已經開始見到啲建築物呢開始有唔同程度嘅損毀，有啲甚至乎係冧咗嘅。咁對面嘅高速公路呢，就見到一條長長嘅車龍，咁就塞住車咁樣呢，就係啲居民離開個災區啦。咁亦都不停會見到一啲救護車就響住號，着住閃燈咁樣離開個災區。咁當時其實個心就已經沉一沉，就知道即係現場嘅環境應該都會係幾惡劣㗎啦。咁但係當我哋真係入到去我哋要去做嘢嗰個城市嘅時候呢，咁就會見到係基本上係所有建築物呢都有唔同程度嘅損毀。咁有啲即係輕嘅呢，就可能係有啲裂痕啦。咁其他咧就可能會係成棟冧咗啊，或者係成個傾側咗啊。咁當時知道個環境會係非常非常之惡劣嘅，係啊。
嗰陣時你哋點樣？即係你哋去到現場嘅時候，有冇覺得係之前有冇參與過相關嘅行動啦？咁去到現場見到咁樣嘅時候，會唔會覺得今次個挑戰性係會幾大咁樣咧？
我哋今次我哋個特區救援隊呢，其實今次就係第一次係海外嘅任務嘅。咁其實我哋消防處呢，曾經喺2001年啦，台灣地震呢，咁我哋派過救援隊過去嗰邊幫手嘅。咁就喺08年嘅汶川大地震嗰度呢，咁我哋亦都係派過人過去幫手。咁但係真係去國外一個完全唔熟悉嘅國度。去做一個救援工作呢，今次就係第一次咯。咁其實我哋係面對即係最大嘅問題就係除咗天氣之外呢，其實言語不通啊、交通啊、甚至乎資源上嘅調配啊、採購啊，其實我哋都遇到好多困難嘅。咁不過今次就好彩啦，我哋因為毗鄰住我哋一隊非常之經驗豐富嘅國家救援隊，咁我哋可以睇到其實佢即係事實上呢，佢有好多嘢都已經幫我哋安排咗，包括喺邊笪地方可以安全咁樣駐紮我哋個營地啦、保安啦，甚至乎係我哋需要做一啲支撐嘅木條呢，其實喺我哋到步之前呢，佢哋已經幫我哋準備咗嘅。 咁就其實呢一個就係幫即係可以喺一隊咁有經驗嘅救援隊身上面學習咧，其實呢個經驗都係非常之寶貴嘅。
咁頭先提到話去到一個完全陌生嘅地方啦，咁亦都唔係個個都會之前去過土耳其同敍利亞啦。咁你哋係點樣去溝通啊？或者係遇到啲咩文化上嘅差異啊、食物啊等等嗰啲係點樣去解決咧？
溝通咧，我哋係去到阿丹拿機場嘅時候咧，國際救援組織嗰邊咧係安排咗個土耳其嘅翻譯，咁佢係一個義務翻譯，佢本身係一個英文教師嚟嘅。咁佢就係一個非常之有心嘅土耳其人啦，咁就特登由伊斯坦堡嗰度就去咗呢個災區附近國際救援中心嗰度就等候調派，咁就有邊一隊嘅救援隊伍嚟到咧，都可以問佢哋要求即係提供一個翻譯俾我哋。咁基本上呢個翻譯咧係全程跟蹤我哋嘅，我哋係喺嗰邊逗留咗8天啦。咁其實佢8天都係跟住我哋，同我哋一齊食、一齊住。一齊出去做嘢嘅，咁就咁呢個就克服咗我哋嗰邊嘅一個翻譯嘅難題啦，係啊。
咁轉頭可能呢啲學生嚟到，我哋可以再問多少少呢個文化上嘅差異啦。咁我係想問下今日隻狗仔啦，阿 Trix 咧，佢阿 Twist 係啦，咁佢喺嗰陣時係充當住一個點樣嘅角色咧？
係咁我哋搜救犬阿 Trix 啦，就其實喺我哋成個搜索工作嚟講咧。我哋搜救犬係一個我哋可以叫一個先鋒嘅位置嚟嘅。大家可以想像到啦，我哋去到現場咧會見到頹垣敗瓦一個好大嘅災場範圍。我哋第一時間我哋要爭取時間啦，要做嘅嘢咧就一定要盡快揾出邊一個位置有機會有傷者喺埋咗喺下面嘅。咁呢個時候咧，我哋就搜救犬咧就好幫到手啦。我哋就會我哋平時同佢嘅訓練啦，都係佢係用佢個鼻啦。去聞一啲人類嘅氣味嘅，係啦。咁究竟會唔會有人可能就埋咗喺下面咧？咁我哋就會領犬員啦，同埋我哋隻搜救犬啦，就會去嗰度做一個快速嘅搜查，就會喺個瓦礫堆上面啦，咁就會隻狗咧就會用佢個鼻啦，就去聞下究竟邊個位置下面咧有機會有人喺下面嘅。咁我哋隻狗如果聞到有個位置啦，就會吠叫啦，對住個位話俾我哋聽，嗰個位咧下面有人嘅味喎。我哋之後其他搜救隊同事啦，就會用一啲科技儀器啦，再去探測個位置，睇下有冇生命跡象。如果都有嘅話咧，我哋就會喺嗰度咧就開始做一啲搜救嘅工作咁樣咯，係啦。咁所以都可以話，我哋今次有2隻狗仔去啦，做咗阿 Trix 同埋 Umi 啦，咁佢哋係好幫到手嘅。
問一問阿 Trix 嘅年資啦，咁佢其實係參與過，即係會唔會之前都好豐富嘅經驗啊？即係佢今年幾歲啊？咁問少少佢嘅背景先。
阿 Trix 咧，其實就佢嚟咗消防處咧，就啱啱1年左右啦，係啦，佢係嚟咗1年左右嘅。咁係我哋消防處第一次叫做自家訓練嘅狗啦，我哋自己訓練佢嘅。咁講多少少背景資料啊，我哋消防處嘅搜救犬咧，其實我哋都儲咗好多年經驗㗎啦。由2011年開始咧，我哋消防處已經引入咗搜救犬㗎啦。咁去到今年啦，23年啦，就叫做第一次去一個大型嘅可愛救援行動啦。咁就都即使係我哋自己訓練啦，我哋都幾覺得比我哋想象中更加好啊！佢做得，因為即使我哋嘅設備幾好啦、幾先進啦，我哋只可以盡量模擬一個災場嘅環境嘅啫。咁但係實際去到災場環境，當然會有好多嘅干擾啊，同我哋訓練嘅設施有一定嘅唔同嘅，例如可能會有好多衣物啊，會有好多食物啊等等啦，或者好多唔同機器嘅嘈吵聲啦，因為可能隔離個場地可能就已經做緊啲挖掘嘅工作等等啦。咁但係我哋嘅狗啦，去到都好專注，見到佢都比平時更加專注，我可以話係啦。咁就呢個都令我哋都幾覺得佢比我哋預期中做得更加好啦。咁少少背景資料啦，咁佢哋阿 Trix 咧就同埋 Umi 其實都係嘅，都係我哋嘅消防處第一代啦嘅叫做自家訓練啦，自家訓練嘅狗仔啦。咁就都效果都理想嘅，就佢係啦，依家1年左右啦，係啦，咁依家大概2歲啦，係啦。
哦，2歲就已經參與咗你哋嘅訓練1年咁樣。
係啦，其實佢之前可能香港都有啲比較大型啲嘅，大家記得有個天秤倒塌事故啦，係啦，咁阿 Trix 其實嗰次都有去幫手嘅，係啦。
或者啲記者朋友會唔會有啲問題，我哋可以問住幾位阿 Sir 先，咁我哋學生稍後嘅時候再加入。
想問下消防處有幾多隻呢啲狗？係咪2隻？跟住今次帶晒去啊？
我哋消防處搜救犬咧就依家就有3隻啦，係3隻搜救犬啦。咁就今次去咗2隻。咁我補充多少少背景資料啊。係啦，今次去嘅2隻狗仔咧就阿 Trix 啦，同埋 Umi。我哋仲有一隻狗咧就叫 Uma 嘅。咁聽到Umi 同 Uma 個名好似喎。咁其實佢哋嘅來源咧就係消防處同埋海關咧就有個2個部門跨部門嘅合作啦，一個工作犬嘅繁殖計劃啦。咁啊 Umi 同埋 Uma 咧，其實係兩兄妹嚟嘅，兩姊弟嚟嘅。咁就今次我哋3隻狗啦，就去咗其中2隻啦，就阿 Trix 同埋 Umi 咁樣嘅。
好講翻我哋去到現場嗰個環境係點樣？去到現場當然個環境係非常之惡劣，佢係比我哋喺香港任何一單事故當中嗰個範圍係大非常之多。即係以往我哋喺香港做任何嘅坍塌事故都係可能一個工作點啦，咁我哋可能會好仔細將呢個工作點搜索好清楚，包括生還者啦、一啲嘅罹難者啦。咁但係去到呢個咁大嘅災區，同我哋嘅分別就喺本港嘅分別就在於喺呢一個咁大災區牽涉嘅建築物倒塌嘅建築物實在太多，我哋唔可以逐一去搜索得完全清楚。咁所以基本上我哋要利用我哋嘅搜索犬啦、一啲儀器啦，我哋盡量揾一啲嘅生還者去嗰啲牽涉嘅建築物嗰度拯救咗啲生還者先。我哋係冇可能逐一嘅建築物全部搜索嘅。咁關於我哋嘅裝備，咁我哋現場我哋瞓嘅係瞓一啲營啦，咁我哋用一啲嘅地席啊，用一啲嘅睡袋啦，咁我哋就冇一啲嗰啲嘅碌架床啊等等嘅。咁關於之後嗰啲裝備嗰啲添置，我交俾阿于 Sir 答一答。
好，唔該。其實今次我哋同國家隊一齊合作啦，或者我哋睇佢哋工作咧，咁係真係獲益良多嘅。咁據我所知，佢哋係會或者我哋都會朝呢個方向做啦，就係其實我哋會將以後咧，我哋係會定我哋可以我哋嘅特區搜救隊有能力係做一啲乜嘢嘅救援工作，有啲咩係值得我哋去派人去一個海外做一個救援。咁我哋會定有啲咩類型嘅工作我哋能夠處理到，值得去啦。咁跟住咧就會分類啦，咁就會喺唔同嘅場合之下，例如當地嘅天氣究竟係一笪溫帶啊、熱帶啊定係寒帶嘅地方，咁我哋都應該會有唔同嘅裝備。咁亦都仲有就係我哋可以帶幾多嘢去，有啲嘢係必帶嘅，有啲嘢係可以帶嘅。有啲嘢係適宜帶嘅，咁我哋都會分門別類咁樣將佢預先就已經準備好咗，咁就令到我哋個動員能力會更加迅速咯。即係一聽到係邊笪地方發生咩災害，係咩天氣，咁我哋可以帶幾多嘢，咁我哋就即時就可以執到呢啲工具出嚟，就可以盡快可以出動到咯。
So later at 11 o'clock, we'll have a session that the firemen and also the students will interact more and share more about your experience in Turkey and also Syria with your fellows. But at this session, we'll share more up to the media first. 我哋呢個環節就先同咁多位有個簡單嘅一個分享，同咁多位傳媒朋友係啦。咁頭先我哋問咗一啲關於消防員嘅問題啦。咁我哋今次可能我哋都簡單介紹一下學生嗰邊嘅工作，或者係佢哋去介紹一下佢哋當地以佢哋嘅認知程度去到而家呢一日啦，當地喺敍利亞同埋土耳其嘅發展係點樣啦。So we have talked to the firemen about their work in the affected area earlier before you came in, and right now we would like to ask more about your fundraising campaign and also at this moment in Turkey and also Syria, how's the people there and how's the homeland is affected. So shall we, maybe anyone can start with your, how's the place over there right now first?
Right, hello everyone. Well, the affected region in Turkey right now is especially centered at the south, concerning the south, and there are around 8 provinces which are highly damaged, such as Hatay, Gaziantep, Kahramanmaraş, and those regions have around damage of 81%, and around 6.4 million people are affected in that region. We have also quite a lot of Syrian refugees around there. The estimations are around 1.5 million of them. The damage by the World Bank right now is around 32 billion US dollars in total. The number will probably still be rising, especially if you think about how to clean up the area and rebuild roads and generally schools and all of that. And the work is still ongoing. Obviously, it's not done yet. There's still a lot of work to do. And right now, so far, 44,000 people died in Turkey alone because of the earthquake. And the regions were already one of the poorest regions in Turkey. And the people were less educated over there and had little knowledge about the possibility of that earthquake. And because of the earthquake, now the whole country is a bit destabilized because the politics were already destabilizing because of our current president. And now it's even worse because there are thoughts about that the government might steal money eventually, and the fundraising by the Turkey government eventually is actually used for their own purpose and their own benefits, and it might be actually not directed at those people which need them most. And so it's quite destabilizing, and the people down there are also affected, of course, by the weather, which is right now around 0 degrees, especially back then. And yeah, that's a bit of background about the area in Turkey.
A moment, let me translate a bit。頭先咧，Erin 就同我哋分享咗咧，現當地其實有81%嘅即係都有損耗啦。咁咧其實影響嘅係有640萬嘅人咧都係有影響嘅。咁而家咧係有當地好多嘅路啦，都係已經爛咗啦。而家主要係要去重建啲路啦，同埋去清理一啲嘅即係倒塌咗嘅建築物啦。咁當而家暫時咧喺土耳其當地咧死咗嘅人咧都已經係有44萬啦，係啦。咁同埋咧，咁同埋咧暫時而家咧當地因為受影響嘅環節嗰個地方咧，其實啲人就比較少接受教育啦，咁所以咧個影響都好大嘅。而嗰個政府可能啲籌款嗰方面啦，亦都會令到當地嗰個亦都因為政治環境本身亦都不穩啦，咁受到今次嘅地震影響之下咧，就會有更大嘅不穩定啦。4萬4，係4萬4人嘅死亡係啦。好，how about Syria? Yeah.
Hello everyone. I am from Syria. So, speaking of which, the damaged area are like basically in the western north, especially Aleppo. That city like have suffered a lot during the war, so people there live under overwhelmed conditions with ruined infrastructure. And after the earthquake happened, like even though they like lived with very limited resources, now they have no shelter, no access to basic resources. So thousands and thousands of them have like lost their shelters, education, no school, no houses. So it's like heartbreaking there, like the situation there. I would like if my second you would like add something.
Hello. So I'm also from Syria. The affected areas in Syria mainly concern the northwestern parts, especially 3 major governorates, which are Aleppo, Idlib, and Latakia. I think it is worth mentioning that Aleppo is the second largest city in the country. It is also the most populous city with around 4 million people living in it. Latakia is also a coastal city, so it is also a main port in the country and considered a touristic destination. So yeah, the affected areas were really of high significance in the country. The population affected by the earthquake is around 8.8 million people, and the damages are estimated to be 10% of the country's GDP, estimated by the World Bank. So yeah, the materialistic damages included residential buildings mainly. Around like 50% of the buildings collapsed were residential. Around 1/3 are schools, hospitals, and the rest was mainly infrastructure. So I think the impact is not only a short-term impact on the country and the people, but also a long-term impact, especially if we're talking about the economy of a country that is already exhausted from an 12-year civil war.
兩位嚟自敍利亞學生就分享咗啦，當地嘅人民咧，其實而家就好多嘅住屋嘅地方啦，同埋學校嘅地方咧，都係受影響嘅，好多基本生活嘅需要咧，都好難去攞到啦。咁其實今次受影響嘅咧，包括當地第2大嘅城市啦，咁嗰度係好繁華啦，就有400萬嘅人口啦。咁亦都係佔咗當地嘅影響咗當地10% 嘅 GDP 啦。咁今次其實有1/3嘅即係可能好多嘅 resident 好多嘅住宅範圍咧，或者建築物咧都有影響到啦。咁當中可能有1/3係學校啦，甚至醫院啦，又或者基建。咁再加埋咧，當地已經有12年嘅內戰咧，咁就非常之影響當地嘅生活嘅。Shall we know more about the fundraising campaign that you are currently initiating and how it helps and from your perspective, what are the most important things that they need at the moment and what can we help?
Yeah, so talking about the situation of Syria, as I said before, there's already like a lot of materialistic damage, so there's a huge need for like heavy machines to help like rebuild and like also clean up the collapsed buildings. However, it is very hard to get foreign aid into Syria because of the current sanctions imposed on the country by the US, the EU, the Arab League, and other countries such as Canada and Australia. So these sanctions have frozen the foreign aid coming into the country. And it wasn't until a few days after the earthquake happened that the US partially lifted the sanctions on foreign aid, humanitarian aid that is not affiliated with the government. So sending aid to Syria is pretty hard. However, there has been a lot of effort by many countries, including many countries and cities such as Hong Kong to help alleviate the conditions in Syria. So what are we doing now is basically fundraising, so basically sending money to the affected regions in Syria because it is quite hard to send tangible goods to the country. So that is mainly about the fundraising to Syria, and I think my colleagues can also speak about that, and Haley as well.
So actually working at a United World College where we have students from over 74 different countries, unfortunately there are terrible atrocities that happen like this, and both Hanan and Aaron are in my block, and Aaron was struck straight away because some of his family members, he could not even hear from them, and they were still wondering where they are. So it was very, very emotional for him, and he needed to miss classes. And the minute we heard things like this from students in our blocks who are suffering and their families are suffering, we thought that we need to do something. So straight away we actually sent an email out to the whole community and said that we'll be collecting warm clothes and blankets. And so that was the start. We sent the email out on a Thursday or Friday, and that weekend we filled up, must have been about 20 big boxes. And together with Anthony Tong and working with the Turkish consul or vice Turkish consul general, we managed to get these boxes to the airport, and they were actually sent off on the Tuesday. So we really worked as a community very quickly, and some of the teachers were asking friends, and we had other people dropping things off. So as a community we came together, and then of course it was quite exhaustive sending all of those stuff, and they actually needed tents and they needed blankets, so we thought that they need money so that they can buy the tents and blankets. So we thought, what else can we do? And so we've had a number of other events. We had a meeting, another Zoom meeting with another UWC, and so we spoke about, we had people who were from Syria, from the organization, who spoke about what they needed and the difficulties, challenges they had. And all of this is to try to spark the idea in the students that we never know. We may be in a situation where we need help, and what action should be taken, and how should that action be taken, and that we can't only think about ourselves. We need to be thinking about the world, the community. So after that, we posed the idea to students that they could challenge themselves, come up with a quest. And I was even talking to the group that we went cycling with, and I said, you know, you need to find your passion. Whatever your passion is, you will find purpose in your passion. And then you need to take that purpose and passion, you need to pursue it, and you need to have perseverance, and you will find results. So those 4 Ps really, really help. So we had a group who were cycling. We cycled 1,600 kilometers on the first day, and then we were walking at least 14 to 20 kilometers per student per day the next day, and the following day we were cycling another 75 kilometers each. So we decided to do that, and then we have parents who will sponsor the students for their endeavors. Each student can take their own quest, and they can find something that they're passionate about, that they're interested in, and they can try to get some sponsorship. We've also told our alumni as well, and so we've tried to make it community-wide. So that's some of the things. Erin and Hayan may want to talk about a few more things.
Maybe regarding the situation in Turkey, I guess it's quite similar to Syria. Due to the weather currently, there's need for tents, for example, big family tents, as the residents are afraid of going back into their house, because since the earthquake on February 6th, there were over 7,500 aftershocks registered until now, which still lead to buildings collapsing, and therefore they're afraid of going back into their house and have to live on the street. Under these conditions, rain, snow, and the cold wind, it's hard for them to survive. And tents, therefore, are much needed. And with Anthony together, and Haley and as well, we then thought it would be great to raise the money, especially because Syria was affected as well, and we could barely reach Syria. Even after talking to the Turkish consulate, they did not find a way of eventually getting the boxes that we sent to Syria, because it was so complicated, and the infrastructure was highly damaged as well, as it was already poorly built. So I guess that's for Turkey.
Oh, a moment, please. Let me translate a bit about what you guys mentioned. 頭先咧，佢哋就有分享到話，佢哋其實當地而家需要啲乜嘢啦。咁因為當地最緊要係需要重建啦，同埋清理翻當地嘅倒塌咗嘅建築物啦。咁而敍利亞特別亦都係受到而家歐盟同埋美國嘅一啲經濟上嘅制裁啦。咁所以其實我哋要去籌集物資過去咧係非常之難嘅。咁就亦都係佢哋咧今次嘅 fundraising campaign 咧，咁就主要籌錢啦。咁係因為咧，如果一啲比較實物送過去當地咧係非常之困難嘅。咁佢哋係 Did you mention that you start with Wednesday? Your fundraising campaign start Wednesday and then
It was Thursday night, yes.
Like Wednesday night, Thursday night， 可能星期4晚嘅時候就開始啦。咁已經可以喺星期2咧就已經送咗啲物資過去啦。咁亦都佢哋今次咧主要嘅物資可能係一啲嘅毛氈啦，一啲嘅暖嘅衫啦，因為當地嘅天氣咧亦都係比較寒冷嘅。咁亦都好多嘅頭先Erin亦都分享到啦，因為個天氣問題啦，好多嘅居民亦都唔夠膽咧即係亦都唔係好想翻去自己間屋啦，亦都係因為可能啲建築物都係受到影響啦，天氣嘅影響啦等等嘅，係啦，yes you can.
One small thing, like to elaborate on what my colleagues said. The money shortage is like the basic problem in Syria. As basically on in terms of like the infrastructure, the respondents' shelters, basically 93% of them were affected by the earthquake, and like about more than 50% of them were totally destroyed. So people there have like no place to live in, while like they can find a permanent shelter to stay in. So I think the fundraise idea would like have an official idea to support them.
因為敍利亞咧好多嘅基建都受到影響嘅，咁當地可能有90% 嘅地方咧都係有受到今次嘅地震影響啦。咁有50% 嘅基建咧其實係完全地被毀壞嘅。咁好多嘅居民咧都冇一個嘅居住嘅場所啦。咁所以係好重要嘅一個長期嘅支援係好重要嘅。
Also, when we're very lucky that we've partnered with the Amity organization, because I think what we're also trying to teach students is that you can't just give your money to any organization. You need to know how credible the organization is, and if the money that you're giving is going directly to the cause and not to someone else or someone on the side or the wrong people or the wrong cause. So I think this is also what we've been trying to teach the students about, is that the money goes to the right place and the full amount is going to go to that organization and helping the right people, as well as also the difficulties and challenges that they have on the ground. And you know, I think that was something that we discussed with the students, that they could recognize some of these challenges, like how we couldn't get people into Syria, but we could try to get some sort of products, but in Turkey there was a different need. So knowing the situation in each country, knowing the political situation, the social situation as well, and teaching the students about this is very important if they ever need, or if they're in a situation like that themselves.
咁希兒老師就同我哋分享啦，其實學校好重要去教育啲學生，唔可以淨係俾錢去捐錢啦。其實更加重要係你要去認識究竟個機構係咪真係將啲錢係咪真係可以直接去到啲幫助到當地嘅居民啊。咁今次佢哋呢一個籌款活動咧，就同愛德基金會去合作嘅。咁亦都好高興喺呢個嘅籌款活動度咧，係令到學生們可以認識到每個 country 每一個國家咧都有佢哋自己嘅唔同嘅需要同限制啦。咁去因而去制定唔同嘅幫助嘅措施啦。咁其實學校咧亦都有同其他喺海外嘅聯合世界書院度咧係有一啲嘅會議啦，去同唔同世界各地當地嘅可能喺唔同世界各地讀緊書嘅敍利亞同土耳其學生咧，去了解每個國家嘅人佢哋即係佢哋以佢哋所知當地嘅人面對緊嘅困難，去諗一啲唔同嘅活動出嚟去幫助大家嘅。好，shall we pass the time to the media? If any questions from media， 會唔會有問題係需要了解嘅？
The moments that hit you the most in the fundraising campaign, maybe from the start when you know about the earthquake and until now. Can all of you share some with us?
Yes, something that hit you.
Well, I guess after the earthquake, what hit me most was receiving the news in the evening while I was actually here studying, and then receiving the news of a 7.8 magnitude earthquake in southern Turkey, knowing that there are people we know, my family knows, and related to in those areas, and that probably hit me most and kind of motivated me after especially talking to my mother that evening, and knowing that my mother back in Germany started also fundraising and helping the people in Turkey and trying to reach out to people there. And that really motivated me to do something about it, because I felt like that there was a big need, and there are many people who want to help, but some of them, especially here in Hong Kong, I felt didn't really know how to help and who to reach out to, and I thought it would be a great idea to kind of collect all of the things they would donate or they would be able to donate and kind of receive their help here at the UWC, also with our mission in mind, and then help those people affected in Turkey and Syria. I guess that was my main motivation, if that answers the question.
For myself, I'm also on a chat group with a lot of IB teachers, and one of the teachers is from Turkey, and she mentioned what had happened, how her family had to be evacuated, they were staying in another school far away, and she hadn't had contact with other family. So it was that, as well as hearing from these students that they don't know where their family members are. But when I saw the photo that Aaron sent when he got to the warehouse with all the goods, and we knew it was really such a struggle because the logistics of it was so challenging, from translating from Turkish to English and getting the goods there. When I saw Aaron standing there with all the goods in the warehouse, knowing that it was going to go on Turkish Airlines, it was such a sense of relief. And as I say to the students, like, I've been teaching here for 25 years, and you can never give enough, and you can never do enough for other people. We need to continue to give and to do. And there is such an amazing feeling of just a sense of satisfaction and just a really good feeling that you get from helping other people. And the more you do it, it's very contagious. You want to continue doing it. So that's why I like to involve the students in doing this and continue on that mission for different causes.
What touched me most about the earthquake here, like the immediate response from the local community here, which we appreciate. Even though like there were like a lot of struggles like to just like take these like the help and supplies to like Syria especially, but even though like we managed to collect what we could to send there, so yeah.
I think for me, the fact that I'm here away from my family and my friends back home is the main motivation, because I feel like being away from the people that were affected made me like 100 times more responsible. Because for me, it's not only that like I need to check on these people and know that they're safe, but being here, I feel like it was my responsibility to share the news with others and make sure that everybody, like we're all on the right page, and if there's a way that we all can help, then we should do that too. I feel like one of the most like heartwarming moments in LPC was the fact that immediately after the earthquake happened on the same day, so many people checked on me and checked on us. I can say that because people here are very educated. They read the news and they just are very caring about their friends. And I think not only does this make me feel loved in a community such as the UWC and the LPC community, but also, as I said before, that makes me feel responsible to raise a voice for the people who cannot speak out for themselves.
Thank you for sharing. And actually, would you mind sharing the amount of the fundraising so far, and about how much? And the other questions is that you have mentioned that you need to raise a voice to help people to know what is happening in the earthquake hit area. So besides fundraising, have you done other things to get to help people know about this, or help the victims of the earthquake? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I will leave the first question for Haley, but then I'll touch a little bit upon the second question. I think the other things that I did mainly is to share with other people about the condition in my country. So for example, I remember in one of we send a lot of emails, like in the college. In one of these emails, I made sure to like elaborate on the facts rather than like appeal to the emotions. So I think this is also a big part of the fundraising campaign that we're doing, to make people understand what is going on rather than only like trying to appeal to their emotions. So I think this is also a big part of trying to raise a voice. I think also, for me personally, like apart from the campaign that we're doing, we try to use our social media platforms to also share the news and the fundraising campaign that we're doing. We also connected with other United World colleges. In one meeting that we had in this very spot, we had a meeting with UWC Pearson students and teachers from Canada. So I think this connection between other United World colleges around the world is also very helpful. As a Syrian student, we also connected with other Syrian students in other UWCs, including United World College in Armenia, in Mostar, in the United States, and other countries as well. So I feel like there isn't something that I can do on my own, but rather connecting to other people. That is the way to like raise funds and help the most.
So we actually don't have a full figure of how much has been raised, because living in this community, we have some students from marginalized backgrounds, so we can never say you must donate. Some can afford, some actually need their own donations themselves. But we did say that up to 50,000, there's going to be price matching. So there will be, if we can raise up to 50, then we'll be raising 100,000. And just trying to encourage many students, even if they just give $50, it's probably one coffee or one bubble tea for them. So just to be thinking about it and to consider giving money as opposed to using it for themselves. And everyone we've given them the forms, making it easy access. If they want to use PayMe or they want to use their credit card, they can use any form to pay, and it can be in any denomination. So we're not fussy as long as something is given, and then it will be price matched.
We have some very special guests here with us today. Is the urban search and rescue team from the Hong Kong government, from the Fire Service Department, here with us today. So why don't you give them a round of applause, please? And let me just quickly introduce each of them. So we have our commander here, Yu Man Yang. And then we have our senior station officer, Lawman Kip, Law Sir. And then we have another senior station officer, Kong Ka Ho, Kong Sir. Thank you for coming. Of course, we have a very special guest here as well too. We have Zhang Sir with the dog named Twist, right? Twist. Thank you so much for coming. Of course, we have also our students. Well, this is a very special occasion, sharing section. I would say that we have the firemen here who actually went to Turkey last month, as everybody knows. And also we have actually some of the students here from Syria and Turkey here. So please stand up and show your face to the community. We have Aaron, Hanan, and Hayan. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I would like to pass on the microphone to our board chairman, Anthony Tong, also with us today. And he will give us a little sharing as well. Please, Anthony.
Thank you. All right, a warm welcome to all our visitors, including members of the press. And I especially welcome our homegrown heroes who were working against the odds, I think, in all kinds of life-threatening situations to try to save people. And of course, the earthquake sort of caught our attention, and immediately everybody in the city, which has a caring heart to try to help in various ways. Okay, and Hong Kong probably is one of the first responders to send a rescue team right there, risking life and limb in order to help people under the rubble. And of course, generally, I think all over the community, there's widespread show of sympathy, and also donations are pouring in cash and kind. Right. And of course, we are also very proud that our city had done something real, on the ground immediately after the earthquake. And also, right after the earthquake, there was a lot of shown of sympathy in this one world, one family. And of course, we're very proud of our students, which include all of you, right, who are sort of rising to the occasion and try to raise cash and kind in order to help all those brothers and sisters in other parts of the world, on the other side of the world, really. Okay, and today this special session of sharing of two different efforts is really a reminder to the general public that the people of Turkey and Syria are also still needing our support in various ways. And I believe that if we are united in our resolve, we'll be able to see a better world in peace and sustainability. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Anthony. All right, thank you. And Aaron and Hanan, would you like to just quickly tell us what you have shared on the card?
Okay, so I will read this in Arabic. It says, في ضوء الأزمات والكوارث الطبيعية لا يسعنا إلا أن نشكر اليد التي تقدمت بالمساعدة إلينا لتنقذ كل روح من تحت الركام. شكرا فريق هونغ كونغ للإنقاذ على مساعدتكم.
And so that means, just simply.
Yeah, sure. I can also translate. So in light of natural disasters and crises, We can't do anything but thank every hand that extended to save a soul from underneath the rubble. We thank you, Hong Kong Rescue Team, for your help for our countries.
Thank you, thank you. And Aaron?
The translation of what I wrote is basically, I thank the Hong Kong Rescue Team and during a time of crisis in Turkey, and that the affected people by the earthquake have a lot to struggle right now, a lot, and have to fight a long fight from now on. And we thank you, my family, people I know there, and I guess just Turkey thanks you and Hong Kong for their help and to help now and rebuild the part of Turkey that was affected, help the people who have been safe and will hopefully be safe too. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, thank you, that's beautiful, thank you. Please have a seat.
A big welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us the opportunity to hear your experiences and firsthand for our students, because of course there's a lot in the media, but yet when you get to meet the people and see the people who are on the ground, it really makes it much more real for us. So would you like to just maybe your first impressions when you got to the site? What were some of your first impressions?
Actually, we flew to Adana Airport that on the, I think it's on the 9th of February. I just mix up with all those dates, and then we immediately go to the Hatay province by bus. I think we take off about like midnight, and then it takes about like 2.5 hours by bus to where we are assigned for the rescue mission. Like on the last 1 hour drive, I start seeing like the building collapsed, people on the street burning wood to stay warm, and I saw like a long line of traffic on the other side of the highway, like trying to escape from where we are heading to. And I kept seeing like ambulances with their siren on, with their beacon lights on. I would say that they are with patients in them, driving on the opposite side on the highway and trying to take the patient to like nearby hospitals. And at that moment, I knew that it will be a devastating situation in the city, but it's not even close. When I get to the city, the city we are going to, Antakya, which is a hard-hit city. Like 80% of the buildings are collapsed or tilted, and all the people are on the street. The lucky ones, they have shelters. Others, they are just like covered by blankets, staying on the road, burning wood to stay warm, and it is like really touching scene for us at that moment. Yeah.
One question we would like to ask is, how did you first feel entering? How did you communicate with rescue teams from other countries at the location where you were supposed to help?
Actually, when we get to the airport, there's the International Search and Rescue Advisory Group. They have a station there, and we just report to them, and they assign us to where we should do our rescue mission. And then when we get there, we will be assigned for rescue operations at particular sites, which is assigned by the sector coordination center. Usually, we will work alone as teams, like Hong Kong team will work alone, and maybe the Italian team will work alone. But sometimes we will come together at like sites. But normally we will, because we want to save more, and we want to get our hands on more sites, so that if we found some site that somebody is working on it, we will just go to another site. And like for the national team, we have one chance that we work together with them because we found that our tactics are very close. So we want to learn something from them on like the rescue techniques so that on one case we work with the National Rescue Team, and it is a really, really good experience for us too.
One other question is like, why did you choose to join the rescue team?
Okay, why did I join the rescue team? Actually, compared with a frontline firefighter, as a fire officer, most of our job duties in our career life are administrative work. However, joining the rescue team allows me to have more chances to step in front more in the front line, and especially in the serious incident occurring in Hong Kong or overseas. Although I know that working in our back office can also contribute a lot in helping people, I enjoy helping people directly very much. That's why I joined the rescue team. Thank you.
One other question is, what are the main challenges of the rescue work?
You mean in the Turkish? Yeah. Okay. The main challenge, actually, the main challenge, the difference between in Hong Kong is the website is too large, and in Hong Kong, always we just work in a single website, and we will use our effort to search the whole website. However, in the Turkey, the earthquake, the website is too large. We cannot search the whole affected area completely, so it is a very challenge for us. So we just can rely on our search dot and some our live locator to search anywhere has the live victim. So we focus on that. That's it.
Let me supplement. Actually, the most challenging is to our rescue team is like both mentally and physically. For the mentally is the uncertainty. We don't know what we will see. We don't know how long we will stay there. We don't even know like if we can really rescue life. That's the uncertainty. And like physically, we have to keep working for like round the clock 7 days. We do have rest, but like we just don't get used to those cold weather. We sleep on tent, sleep on the floor, like every night, like say maybe 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we will wake up because of the cold. And that's the physical challenge to our team members.
So just if you can tell us a little bit more about like the geographical location, weather you've just mentioned, and kind of economic development and how that impacted you as well as what was going on at the time. Sure.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the dog. We saw like in LPC the dog has many fans, but I would like to ask, in the rescue context, how did the dog help?
They do have more fans than we do.
Hi everyone, and maybe many people in Hong Kong that they don't know that there are search and rescue dogs in the fire services, and we the search and rescue dogs are introduced to the fire service in 2011, and this for the Turkey mission. It is the first time that our dog is deployed in the overseas rescue mission. And our dogs are trained to detect the scent of human under the rubble, and so how did they help us? And you can imagine when we first arrived to the scene that we're facing a really large affected area, and all we think is the collapsed building. So the first thing that we needed to do is to decide which area that we should work on. Because the time we're running out, and we got only limited resources, so we have to focus on where that most probably that we can find the live people under the rubble. And so first we do is to we asked the dog to search the surface of the collapsed building, and then when the dog, if the dog finds someone buried underground, then the dog will indicate us and tell us that we should work from here. There may be people under here. So this is the first thing that we needed to do, and the dog helped us to narrow down the area that we need to work on, and so that we can focus our resources and time to work on the most probable area. This is how the dog help our work. Yes.
Thank you. And for the last question, we would like to ask, what was your most memorable experience from this mission, and did you have any heart-touching moments you would like to share with us?
There is some photo we provide. Firstly, actually for me, the whole rescue work is memorable. But I want to mention another memorable moment besides rescue work. That is the moment we arrived at the Istanbul airport and we saw different rescue teams from different countries or districts. Why is it memorable for me? Firstly, it is a rare chance to meet so many rescue teams at the same time, as we can share our experience in rescue aspect. And moreover, I felt very motivated after seeing them, because I know that every rescue team have the same target, to save or help the Turkish or Syrian people. And I felt deeply honored to be part of the rescue team there. That's why I show these photos to you guys. Yeah, thank you.
And for me, there are two stories that I would like to share with you. And the first one is about the dog cage. And when we arrived at the airport, Adana airport, then one of the dog cages was broken. Then if the dog is broken, then the search of the dog cannot work. So we used a very limited time to go out to the street and to look for a new dog cage. And then it's really difficult for us to find a pet shop or to look for a new dog cage. Then I think we look really lost. And so there was a young man, a Turkish young man there. They came to us, and he didn't speak English. We don't speak Turkish too, but we communicate through the translation app, through the hand signal, and then it's really amazing experience that he managed to talk us to a local I think it's a church or something, the center. And the people there, they help us to find a new dog cage within like in an hour. And they're really enthusiastic. They really want to help us because they know that we're the rescue team. And it's really touched me because the local people there, they really like to help us. I think it's really good. And the other story I would like to share. I've got some photos. Yes, this one. Yes, and one night after the operation in our base, it was really cold there, right? So I was staying near around a fireplace with a Turkish soldier there, and then we chatted through the translation app, of course, yes. And I showed him that. I said, I think Turkey is a really beautiful country. And then he showed me this, and I wish you didn't see our country this way. And I think he was right. And so I really hope there's a speedy recovery to the country, to Turkish and Syria. And I will visit again when this is all rebuilt. Yes, thank you.
Can I ask one question? Can you describe one episode in which you identify the place and then ultimately saved one person in Turkey?
Actually, on one day we were assigned for a rescue mission in a residential area, and we were working on it. Some local residents came to us, and they heard sound from under the debris. And then we send a team to the location to confirm that they are like really life, like signs of life. And then we brought our whole team there, and it was actually it was a site with like 6 meters of debris on it, and a backhoe was working on it. We immediately stopped the backhoe's operation, and then after we found this like signs of life and confirmed the victim's location, after we make it like a safety assessment, which the rubbles won't fall and won't collapse again, and we dug a rescue tunnel to reach the victim, and like that operation saves like 3 survivors under the rubble. They stayed there for like 5-6 days. Yes.
How long did it take?
Oh, it didn't take long. Like maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. And that's really because the backhoe had already picked up those large rubbles, and those left are just some small rubbles.
And the 3 age, I mean, old people?
About middle age. Yeah, 2 male and 1 female, and they are all in good conditions. They can talk. They don't have like major injuries, because like before we pull them out, we have to assess their injuries. We don't want to pull them and then like maybe make them have a secondary injury, which make them like on the wheelchair for the rest of their life. We don't want to do that. Yes.
Okay, just want to ask, how is it like to live in Syria or Turkey?
Well, in Turkey, the situation, especially in those affected regions, before the earthquake, they were quite pretty and known for their culture and their food especially. And it was less developed, unfortunately. There were a lot of poor people in that region, and they were less educated as well. But hearing from family and friends in that region, it was a good place to live at. It was, especially because it was close to the sea. Yeah, you could spend nice summers over there. Now, unfortunately, this whole changed, and it's probably going to be like this for quite a while. And even after everything is rebuilt, I don't think it will be the way it was. But it's very great to live there, and it was a nice place to live there. I hope the best, and hope it will be like it was.
Yeah, I would say similar things about Syria. In my head, I feel like the first 5 years of my life are more memorable in terms of what I remember about Syria than the rest, because as you might know, Syria has been going through a civil war, and this earthquake has only made it harder for the people. But luckily for me personally, I live in southern Syria, so the place where I live wasn't really affected by the earthquake. I had friends and family members living like in northwestern Syria, but luckily they're all safe. And that's also like thanks to you and every other rescue team. I think similar to what Erin just said, we have like amazing cuisine as well, and amazing weather. And one thing I would just say to Erin and like every other person, that I don't wish Syria or Turkey like go back to where it was or how it was. I think it will be better. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I think being a Syrian has taught me how to be hopeful, and I think it is a very empowering thing for me.
For me, there's no much to say like more than my second year said, but like I think before the earthquake, especially like in the affected areas, especially like Latakia, for example, you could go there like this summer and spend your nights there on the sea. It was like a very beautiful area, even though like it have been gone through the war like for several years, but like at least from my experience, I think it was like a pretty place to spend your summer maybe. But I don't think that's like the situation anymore after the earthquake, sadly.
Then what are the main cultural differences of the Turkey and Syria?
I think in my point of view, there's like no much difference because like Syrian and Turkish people were like neighbors for centuries. But I think the one main difference, maybe the language, or I don't know if you want to like elaborate on this.
I guess the fact that Turkey has in that region around 1.5 million Syrian refugees kind of shows that how closely tied Syria and Turkey actually are. And I guess apart from maybe some of our food or the language mainly, I don't think that there are any big differences. I believe that Syria and Turkey are quite similar, also in the way they're structured and in terms of how the people are. I guess generally overly friendly and welcoming. So yeah, I guess if you want to add anything.
There's not much to say, but like, yeah, I agree. And I would say like us as Syrian people, we watch a lot of Turkish TV shows, and we even know some like Turkish words as well. And I think similarly, like Turkish people know about Syrian culture. So yeah, there's a lot of integration.
I tried to learn how to speak Turkish in the few days, but what I learned is only merhaba, it's hello, right? Yeah, but that's the only thing that I can learn in that few days. Yeah, and I got one question for you, and as we as the rescue team, and we really want to help, and so it is what we do, our profession. And after coming back to Hong Kong, we do a lot of sharing or interview session. Is there anything that we can do to keep the long-term concern from the public, and is there any way that we can show, to support the long-term rebuild of the country?
Actually, like, personally, I'm very grateful for what you already did. I'm sure your efforts saved a lot of lives, and like in the short term and in the long term, these people are the people who are going to rebuild both countries. I don't have anything in mind, but I think sharing about your experiences with the young generation really helps. I think a lot of people in the young generation don't really know what is happening and like how they can help. So I think your mission, your journey is very inspirational. And when you talk about it to other people, I think it really inspires a lot. And that is, in my opinion, the way to help.
If I may make a very small suggestion, because these students, some of them are still doing their quest, I mean, running and so on. Maybe one time you would like to join, all right? Because you're so fit already, you're running or whatever. Just do something, I mean, together. I think this togetherness would really bring out the one world, one family concept, and let people know that we can work together for the betterment of the whole world. Yeah, that's my suggestion. You don't have to take it, I think. I know you're very busy already.
I guess speaking for Turkey, but also for Syria, I think generally just you sharing your experience, your work, eventually maybe motivating people, young people, us eventually follow the same path you did, and also help other countries in the future who will eventually face that problem, and inspire them to do similar things, but also encourage them to find new ways and new ideas, right, to share and help those people affected. I guess in terms of rebuilding those countries, I think it's really left to the people there in Syria and Turkey to rebuild the country the way they want it, and hopefully safer and better. Except for that, I guess we're just thankful for what you already did. It's more than enough and more than we asked. And I think it's just you sharing your history is probably the best. Thank you a lot.
I think I would like to take Anthony up on the offer of you guys maybe joining us for a quest. That would be amazing, because I think you're an inspiration to all of our students, and even in terms of some students choosing a new profession or finding a way they can help in any way or form. So hearing exactly from you what you did, what you experienced, and then maybe joining us on a quest and working together in any other way would be amazing. I think the students have really enjoyed and probably have many, many questions themselves to ask. So If it was in a more casual setting, then they can chat more freely with you. I want to actually thank the community and thank Anthony as well, because you know, Anthony has been, I've been working at the school for 25 years. Anthony has been by our side and is such an inspiration. The messages that are coming from him daily, inspiring me to hopefully inspire you and for you to inspire other people. I think that this is what this place is about, and that's why we've been working here for so long. So if we can all get inspiration from doing more for others, I think that would be wonderful and make this world a better place. Thank you.
Well, thank you again.
One last word. If you want to know about relief work and so on, I can tell you a bit more about it, because I was there at the Sichuan earthquake 2008. We've done Amity Foundation has done about 50 relief operations all around the world. I think typhoons, floods, droughts, and so on. So if there's anything you need to know and want to know, burning questions, you can ask me immediately afterwards. Thank you very much. I think this has been great. Most inspiring.